Many thanks for staying with us. That over 40,000 inmates in Nigerian prisons are awaiting trial is not news. What is more worrisome is that there are other agencies legally empowered to detain, but there are no records of people in their facilities. This has been described as harmful to development, leaving room for extrajudicial killings. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafor, tells us more.
Dilapidated infrastructure, congestions are characteristics of a typical Nigerian prison facility, and the reasons are not far-fetched. The prisons are holding more than they were built to accommodate. According to the Office of the Assistant Controller General of Prisons in charge of planning, research and statistics, as of March 19, 2018, there are about 72,000 inmates in Nigerian prisons, out of which 49,000 are awaiting trial inmates, a situation that puts a severe strain on efficient management of prison resources. A reform of the budgetary process for the criminal justice sector has been proposed as the way forward.
We need to also encourage reforms that recognizes the need to make sure that the budgetary allocation to the relevant institutions of justice are properly reviewed. The budgets that will ensure that prisons operate in the way they need to operate. The budget that will ensure that the Legal Aid Council is able to discharge its duties as it were. We need to ensure that provisions such as the provisions that we have in the Legal Aid Act of 2011 that talks about the establishment of a legal aid fund is indeed made to see the light of the day.
Another concern which experts say continue to slow down the reform in the sector is the lack of adequate data on incarceration in Nigeria. Out of 20 agencies of government constitutionally empowered to arrest and detain, only the Nigerian prisons has an account of the number of detainees in its facilities, a situation experts fear will allow crime to continue to thrive.
We need as a nation to have a statistics that gives us the total number of persons in detention in Nigeria at any given time. No person in Nigeria, indeed no institution in Nigeria has that figure. So as a nation, we need to have a comprehensive database of all persons that are in detention, whether they've been detained in police cells, whether they be detained in SSS cells, in detention facilities across the states of the Federation, by every agency. And then definitely there's no way if we do this, we will not be able to curtail issues relating to extrajudicial killing or arbitrary arrest and detention.
To solve this problem, there is the need for a holistic approach by all agencies in the criminal justice sector. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
A recent survey by Facebook shows that businesses set up by women in Nigeria over the next 5 years will unlock 19.7 billion naira for the economy, with a potential of creating 8.9 million jobs. In line with this projection, an initiative is being driven to inspire African women to harness the power of technology to build their businesses and connect with global customers. Our technology correspondent, Victor Matthias, tells us more.
The call for the empowerment of women has been on the rise as steps are taken to ensure women level up with their male peers. With social media as a major factor in boosting businesses, women groups are cashing in on this potential to empower their peers to make a mark in the society. Just a week after a contingent of professionals from the global home of tech, Silicon Valley, California, visited Nigeria to brainstorm on how to move women up the ladder of tech success, the need to help women harness technology tools to boost their businesses has also prompted Facebook, a major social media player, to begin targeting women in Nigeria for inclusion in this regard. Tagged She Means Business, and in partnership with She Leads Africa, the initiative is designed to inspire existing and aspiring female entrepreneurs across Nigeria, empowering them with the right digital skills to run successful businesses.
At She Means Business, participants will have access to top-notch digital trainers that will cover topics like strategy, marketing, and understanding your customer.
With about 35 million people from around the world connecting with local businesses on Facebook in Nigeria, what does that mean?
There is opportunities.
However, the benefits of these opportunities might just not come as expected.
So I find that a lot of women I come across, they have this, like amazing idea to start a business, but they usually want everything to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like you figure things out as you go along. If I tell you about all the experiments I'm trying, as I've been building Mama-led, like you probably be like, this girl is crazy. If I tell you how many books I've read, it doesn't have to be perfect, just that. You'll figure it out. Just that.
But what informed the decision, and who can be part of the program?
What we found is the ability or the inability to use online tools actually determines the success or failure of your business. So they're directly correlated. So She Means Business is going to help fill that gap to help this woman turn their business ideas into reality.
You don't have to have a business to sign up. So if you just have an idea and you want to use digital to help you grow, you can sign up for this training.
This initiative, if followed to the letter by participants, will no doubt open a plethora of opportunities for women entrepreneurs, empower them, and put them at the right standing to contribute to Nigeria's economy. Victor Matthias, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, in Kano State, the use of ICT and social media in promoting governance and development has come to the fore. The state government, working with the Department of International Development, DFID, of the United Kingdom, is enlightening public relations officers on the use of ICT and social media. The Commissioner of Information, Mohammed Gaba, says that the state government is focusing on digital communication to ensure that citizens have seamless access to vital information. Our Kano State correspondent, Idris Jibrin, reports.
The Kano State Government and the Department for International Development of the United Kingdom realize the huge impacts and benefits that social media present. And it is this realization that has brought public relations and information officers from various ministries, departments and agencies of the Kano State Government to this forum. The primary aim is to improve understanding of the role of information and communications technology and social media in tracking services, as well as ensuring that public relations practitioners are able to implement government strategies by making sure that the ideas being advocated by government are properly passed on to the citizenry.
Apart from the recent collaboration with the DFID to train information officers in the 44 local government areas of the state on election reporting, the state government since inception has remained an ICT compliant and friendly, considering its numerous youth empowerment programs and collaboration efforts in this regard.
There is a paper presentation. The Kano State Government believes that in addition to partnering with the DFID, there is an urgent need to strengthen the capacity of public relations officers in line with global trends in digital communications.
Information and communication technology and the media, they are but some of the avenues that are known to be very effective in communicating with people. That is why we are conducting this activity, to ensure that we strengthen your capacity.
Through the DFID-funded partnership to engage and learn, the forum also seeks to address the problems related to digital information dissemination to Kano residents and other relevant stakeholders through public relations officers.
This is a workshop that we consider very, very important to information officers, particularly in building their capacity in the use of ICT and social media, in the discharge of their responsibility.
This kind of ICT workshop will help the information or public relations officers in gathering and processing data and dissemination of data to publics.
The Kano State Government as well as the DFID are hoping, however, that the peer practitioners should utilize the opportunity that social media offers more frequently in order to generate backlinks needed to bring the necessary changes. Idris Jibrin, Channels Television News.
The Nigerian Navy released that the incidences of soot in the atmosphere in Port Harcourt River State has reduced due to its use of the swamp bogie operation as against the traditional burn fire and destroying illegal refineries. The executive officer of the Nigerian Navy shipyard Pathfinder, Navy Captain Victor Soji mentioned this during the handing over of suspected oil thieves and illegal vessels to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for further investigation and prosecution. The Navy also destroyed a cluster of illegal refineries in Alakri community in Asari Toru local government area of the state. The federal government is considering an extension of the tax amnesty program. Kayode has details on Business News.
That's right, Melinda. Welcome to Business News, where Nigeria's Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, hinted today that the federal government is currently reviewing the request by some states of the Federation and the private sector, calling for an extension of the tax amnesty program. Speaking at a gathering in Abuja, the minister also cited some logistic challenges to compliance with the voluntary assets and income declaration scheme, including the non-availability of the VAIDS forms in some states and the Easter public holiday. The minister, however, insists that the tax evaders risk forfeiting their assets and persecution, as she noted that the government's data mining unit, known as Project Lighthouse, had compiled data of taxpayers from land registries across 36 states and the FCT, as well as their bank accounts. And the Consumer Protection Council is reassuring Nigerians of its plan to launch an online platform that will resolve all consumer rights issues. Speaking with Channels Television in Abuja, the Director General of the Council, Mr. Babatunde Irukere, says although the CPC has resolved a number of consumer rights abuses amicably in the first quarter of 2018, he appeals to Nigerians to key into its soon-to-be-launched online complaint platform to lodge their complaints for faster dispute resolution.
I would say that going through the first quarter of this year, I suppose that's what you're talking about, where we've had more complaints than we had about this time last year. Secondly, we've resolved more complaints about this time this year than we resolved about this time last year. We've experienced some delay in some of the key initiatives we intended to accomplish in the first quarter. For instance, one of the biggest new things that we've been working on is an automation system. We expected to launch that before the end of the quarter, but we're still close to launch. I think it will overrun by a matter of weeks, but we would come out with that very soon. And that would dramatically change our complaint resolution system, and it would migrate us from a manual system to a more efficient system. With respect to interventions, we're continuing interventions in different areas. We expect the conclusion of a major intervention in cable television to emerge very shortly.
And frontline sugar refiner Dangote Sugar Refinery has released its full-year results for the group's 2017 financial performance, reflecting a stellar performance. The company posted a total revenue of 204.42 billion naira as at December 31st, 2017, in contrast to 169.72 billion naira recorded same period in 2016. The group's profit before tax also jumped to 53.60 billion naira from 19.61 billion naira, while profit after tax soared to within 39.78, with an improved earnings per share of 3.31 kobo. The company's board of directors has recommended payment of 15 billion naira as final dividend for 2017 to its shareholders. And outside Nigeria, the Egyptian government says it will keep its customs exchange rate steady at £16 per dollar in April. The North African country began setting a monthly fixed customs exchange rate in January, following the flotation of its pound currency in November 2016, and has since set it for each month. Meanwhile, the Egyptian pound has remained roughly at the same level in recent months, while it traded at around 17.6 against the US dollar earlier today. And that's Business News. I am Kayode Okikyolo. It's back to Melinda.
Many thanks, Kayode. And still ahead on the news at 10. Manchester City move one win away from lifting the 2017-2018 Premier League trophy after securing a 3-1 win at Everton with an eye on the Manchester Derby. That's on Sports News. Join us again.